Good morning. Convening the House Committee on Transportation for our Thursday, April 10th agenda at 10 a.m. here at the Hawaii State Capitol Conference Room 430. Just some quick housekeeping. In order to allow as many people to testify as possible, there will be a 2-minute time limit per testifier. Because morning hearings must adjourn prior to floor session, not all testifiers may have the opportunity to testify. In that event, please know that your written testimony will be considered by the committee. For those on Zoom, please keep yourself muted and your video off while waiting to testify and after your testimony is complete. The Zoom chat function will allow you to chat with the technical staff only. Please use that chat for technical issues only. If you're disconnected unexpectedly, you may attempt to rejoin the meeting. If disconnected while presenting testimony, you may be allowed to continue if time permits. Please note that the House is not responsible for any bad internet connections on the testifier's end, and in the event of a network failure, it may be necessary to reschedule the hearing or schedule a meeting for decision-making. In that case, an appropriate notice will be posted. Please avoid using any trademarked or copyrighted images, and please refrain from profanity or uncivil behavior, as such behavior may be grounds for removal from the hearing without the ability to rejoin. Okay, we are hearing resolutions today, and we're beginning with SCR 23, requesting the Department of Transportation and Department of Law Enforcement to study the possibility of a highway patrol and speed cameras along major freeways and highways in primary areas of speeding. Representative Miyake for the testimony.
Thank you, Chair. Department of Transportation in support on Zoom.
Hi, Governor. Good afternoon. Good morning, Chair, Vice Chair Robin with HDOT, and we stand by our written testimony in support. Thank you.
Thank you. Oahu Metropolitan Planning Organization in support. 5 individuals in opposition. Ari Yonemura on Zoom. Not present. Anyone else online or in person wishing to testify on this matter before us? Seeing none, Chair.
Any questions? Okay, seeing none. Moving on to SCR 37, requesting the Department of Transportation and Department of Transportation of the County of Maui to collaborate with the Kihei Community Association in the planning and implementation of the Kihei Mauka Road project. Representative Miyake for the testimony.
Department of Transportation in support.
Hi, Robin with HDOT, stand by our written testimony. Thank you.
Thank you. Kihei Community Association, Mike Moran in support.
Good morning, Chair. Mike Moran for the Kihei Community Association. We're a all-volunteer nonprofit community association, and we speak in strong support of the measure. Mahalo for the opportunity.
Thank you, Mike. And 2 individuals also in support. Anyone else online or in person wishing to testify? Seeing none, Chair.
Thank you. Questions? Okay. Moving on to SCR 38, urging the County of Maui to prioritize the development and planning of the northern terminus of the Kihei North-South Collector Road. Testimony?
Kihei Community Association, Mike Moran in support.
Pretty much ditto just what I said. We just need transportation infrastructure desperately, so we ask for support on this one as well. Mahalo.
Mahalo, Mike. And 2 individuals also in support. Anyone else online or in person wishing to testify? Seeing none, Chair.
Thank you. Questions?
No.
Okay. SCR 150 SD1, requesting the Department of Transportation to convene a working group to develop and recommend federal, state, and county programs subsidizing the transport of waterborne cargo. Testimony?
Department of Transportation in support.
Yep, Robin on for HDOT, standing by our written testimony. Thank you.
Thank you. Hawaii Department of Agriculture in support.
Thank you, Chair. Rep. Miyake, Matthew Loke on behalf of the Department of Agriculture. The department stands on its written testimony submitted in support. We appreciate the opportunity to testify and be happy to answer questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Young Brothers, Chris Nakagawa in support. Not present. Hawaii Food Industry Association in support on Zoom. Not present. Hawaii Cattlemen's Council in support, and 1 individual in support. Anyone else online or in person wishing to testify? Seeing none, Chair.
Thank you. Questions?
No.
Okay, great. Okay, got you. Thanks. Okay, moving on to SCR 153, requesting the County of Maui to fulfill its agreement with the state and resolve longstanding jurisdictional ambiguities by completing the transfer of the Hui roads, including Hui Road F, from the judiciary. Testimony?
We got the judiciary in support and 1 individual in support. Anyone else online wishing to, or in person wishing to testify on SCR 153? Seeing none, Chair.
Thank you. Questions?
No questions.
SCR 180 SD1, requesting the Department of Transportation to share information on the safety and performance of commercial tour operators to help residents and visitors make informed decisions. Testimony?
Department of Transportation in opposition.
Good morning, Chair and members of the committee. Kurt Otaguro, Deputy Director. We stand by written testimony in opposition and happy to answer questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Jack Harder Helicopters in opposition. Vertical Aviation International in opposition. Blue Hawaiian Helicopters in support. And 1 individual in support. Anyone else online or in person wishing to testify? Oh. Please state your name and your position.
Richmond Lazar, testifying on behalf of Blue Hawaiian Helicopters. We testify in support. Thank you for hearing this measure. I just would like to emphasize, sorry, this podium is like really small. I would like to emphasize that there was a crash in 2019, 4 people died in Kailua. There was another crash in Kauai in the same year, 7 people died there. And this is not just people who are in the tours themselves or just the pilots. Like if a helicopter crashes into a residential community, people could die there too. So 40 people have died since 2000, and really that number should be 0. So the first step to really starting to get those numbers to 0 would be getting better information, and that's what this reso does. So appreciate you guys hearing it. Let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you, Richmond. Anyone else online or in person wishing to testify? Seeing none, Chair.
Thank you. Moving on to questions. Do you have anything?
No questions.
I have a quick question for DOT. Hi. I understand FAA has oversight over tour operators, but in your testimony, you talk about working on a public online dashboard. Do you not see the report as kind of aligned with the information you're already trying to provide to the public through that dashboard?
We technically have no jurisdiction over this, Chair. As clearly stated, it's preemptive. I don't disagree with what was just said. 1 accident is too many, and we absolutely are working with the industry to ensure that safety is paramount. Enforcement is really the key. Information can be all over the place, but enforcement is what we got to enforce upon, communicate, training, and all those things. The dashboard that we're working on is something that we're building towards, and to collect information that would be relevant. Regardless of this measure, we just feel that as DOT, we're obligated to provide information that would help. But in terms of passing a resolution or a law, we're unable to support that because it's not allowed by FAA.
Okay, thank you. Anything else? No? Okay. Moving on to the next measure, SCR 181, urging the Department of Transportation to establish a working group on lowering the legal limit of blood alcohol concentration to 0.05 grams of alcohol per 100 milliliters of blood, with the intent of prioritizing safety and saving lives on Hawaii's roads. Testimony?
Department of Transportation in support.
Yeah, hi, Robin with DOT, stand by our written testimony in support. Thank you.
Thank you. Office of the Governor in support. Hawaii Substance Abuse Coalition in support. Hawaii Public Health Institute in support on Zoom. Not present. Mothers Against Drunk Driving Hawaii in support. And one individual in opposition. Anyone else online or in person wishing to testify?
I believe it was for Hawaii Alcohol Policy Alliance. It was submitted probably for the
Hawaii Public Health Institute.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
We're just Julie Mejia with Hawaii Alcohol Policy Alliance.
Oh, yeah. Thank-
That's better. And we stand by our written testimony in support.
Okay, thank you very much. Anyone else online or in person wishing to testify on SCR 181? Seeing none, Chair.
Thank you. Questions?
No.
Okay. Moving on to SCR 182, encouraging the city and county of Honolulu to initiate a summer streets pilot program. Miyake for the testimony.
Department of Health in support.
Good morning. The Department of Health stands in support of SCR. Sorry. 182. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Oahu Metropolitan Planning Organization in support. Hawaii Bicycling League in support.
Good morning, Chair, Vice Chair, members of the committee. Thank you for this opportunity to testify on this really important conversation. I'd also like to thank the Vice Chair for leading a related effort for a House concurrent resolution on this topic as well, and Hawaii Bicycling has been supporting that. This conversation is really important at this time because we've been having an epidemic of deaths on our roadway this year. We have noticed a serious uptick, particularly for vulnerable road users, and we arrived at this measure today because a related bill was introduced before this chamber, before this committee, and a measure was taken without any testimony in support for it to exclude Oahu. And subsequently, that measure has earned wide support from the Department of Health, the Director of Transportation, many individuals and communities, all of whom expressed similarly the need to include Oahu as part of this pilot program for open streets. Recently, the House issued a message. I wasn't able to hear what that message, I'd find it online, or so I'm not sure what it was, but the House expressed disagreement with Senate amendments to House Bill 1260. The Senate amended, the Senate took out that exclusion for Oahu. So if that's the reason for the, I urgently ask this committee and this to vote to include Oahu as this concurrent resolution does, as the concurrent resolution that you authored does and has support. But we just came back from Washington, D.C., and there was really terrible news from the Department of Transportation that they're coming for our bike lanes and they're deprioritizing things that have to do with walking and biking. And so that's why at this time, it's really critically important for the legislature to do what you can to support biking and walking and making it safer for everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to testify. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. We also got Hawaii Public Health Institute in support and one individual in support. Anyone else online or in person wishing to testify on SCR 182? Seeing none, Chair.
Thank you. Questions?
No questions.
Just wanted to clarify, when it's a disagree, it just means the House and Senate versions are different, so it's going on to conference, so the conversation just keeps going. Yeah. Okay, moving on to SCR 184, requesting each county police department to increase enforcement against out-of-state vehicles operating on public roadways that have not been properly registered in the appropriate county. Representative Miyake for the testimony.
We got one individual in support. Anyone else online or in person wishing to testify on SCR 184? Seeing none, Chair.
Thank you. SCR 200 SD1, requesting the Oahu Metropolitan Planning Organization to continue transportation management training programs that focus on educating key decision makers responsible for transportation policy, planning, funding, and implementation. Rep. Miyake for the testimony.
Oahu Metropolitan Planning Organization in support, and one individual in support. Anyone else online or in person wishing to testify on SCR 200? Seeing none, Chair.
Questions?
No questions.
Moving on to final measure, SCR 231 SD1, requesting the Department of Transportation to install and utilize electronic scanning equipment at each state airport and harbor to scan for illegal fireworks. Rep. Miyake for the testimony.
Department of Transportation in support on Zoom. Department of Transportation in support on Zoom. There he is.
Sorry about that. There's a technical difficulty. Department stands on its written testimony in support. Again, Kurt Otaguro, Deputy Director for DOT. Happy to answer questions.
Thank you, Deputy Director. And one individual in support. Anyone else online or in person wishing to testify on SCR 231? Seeing none, Chair.
Thank you. Questions?
No questions.
Okay, we are going to recess to get quorum. Thank you. Reconvening the House Committee on Transportation. We will be voting on Senate resolutions, starting with SCR 23. Recommendation is to pass as is. Discussion? Okay, Chair for the vote.
Thank you. Members voting on SCR 23, the chair's recommendation is to pass as is. Acting Vice Chair Keela votes aye. Chair Grandinetti.
Aye.
Rep. Cochran is excused. Rep. Evelyn.
Aye.
Rep. Kitagawa.
Aye.
Rep. Tachika is excused. Rep. Miyake.
Aye.
Representative Moroka. Representative Pierick. Chair, your recommendation is adopted.
Thank you. Moving on to SCR 37. Recommendation is to pass out as an HD, changing all references to the Department of Transportation of the County of Maui to Maui County Department of Public Works, because that is the department with jurisdiction over county roads in Maui. Any discussion?
Real quick. Thank you, Chair. Correct. I worked for the County of Maui, and the roadways are administered by the Department of Public Works. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Chair for the vote.
Members voting on SCR 37, the chair's recommendation is pass with amendments and adopt the HD1. During the presence of the previous members and excused absence of the previous members will be excused for the remainder of the hearing. Any members wishing to vote reservations or no? Seeing none, chair recommendation is adopted.
Thank you. SCR 38, SD1, urging the County of Maui to prioritize the development and planning of the northern terminus of the Kihei North-South Collector Road. Recommendation is to pass as is. Discussion? Seeing none, chair for the vote.
Thank you, members voting on.
As is.
Thank you, members voting on SCR 38, SD1. The chair's recommendation is to pass unamended and adopt as is. Any members wishing to vote reservations or no? Seeing none, chair recommendation is adopted.
Okay, moving on to SCR 150, SD1. The recommendation on this one is to defer after discussing with the parties involved, just thinking this one needs further conversation. And so moving on to SCR 153, recommendation is to pass as an HD. Again, changing the reference to the Director of Transportation of the County of Maui to Director of Public Works of the County of Maui, because that's the department with jurisdiction over roads in Maui. Discussion? Yeah. Okay, seeing none, chair for the vote.
Okay, members, SCR 153, the chair's recommendation is to pass with amendments and adopt the HD1. Any members wishing to vote reservations or no? Seeing none, chair recommendation is adopted.
Thank you. Moving on to SCR 180, SD1. Recommendation is passed as an HD, amending page 3, line 27, to clarify that DOT is requested to share information on helicopter and air tours, not all commercial tour operators. And then also making technical amendments for clarity, consistency, and style. Discussion? Seeing none, chair for the vote.
All right, members, SCR 180, SD1, the chair's recommendation is to pass with amendments and adopt the HD1. Members, anyone wishing to vote reservations or no? Seeing none, chair recommendation is adopted.
Thank you. Moving on to SCR 181, SD1. Moving out as an HD, designating the Director of the Department of Transportation or their designee as chairperson for the working group. And this is just so that the chairperson is able to invite the private members as requested in the reso. And then we'll also be adding the chairs of the House and Senate Transportation Committees or their designees. Any discussion? Seeing none, chair for the vote.
Thank you, Chair. SCR 181, SD1, the chair's recommendation is to pass with amendments and adopt the HD1. Members, anyone wishing to vote reservations or no? Seeing none, chair recommendation is adopted.
Thank you. SCR 182, we'll move this out as is. Discussion? Chair for the vote.
Thank you, members. Voting on SCR 182, the chair's recommendation is to pass unamended as is. Anyone wishing to vote with reservations or no? Seeing none, chair recommendation is adopted.
Thank you. Moving on to SCR 184, a recommendation is to move out as is. Any discussion? Seeing none, chair for the vote.
Thank you, members. Chair's recommendation on SCR 184 is to pass unamended as is. Any members wishing to vote reservations or no? called the vote on that one. Take a recess.
Okay, recess. Reconvening House Committee on Transportation. We're going to finish up the vote for SCR 184. Recommendation is to pass as is. Chair for the vote.
Thank you, members. SCR 184, Chair's recommendation is to pass unamended as is. Any members wishing to vote reservations or no on SCR 184? Seeing none, Chair, your recommendation is adopted.
Thank you.
Sorry, members. For this one, I'm going to resume chairmanship real quickly. So the chair would like to reconsider previous decision-making made on the previous measure, SCR 182. The chair would like to request a motion for reconsideration.
Motion for reconsideration.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Seeing the motion and the second, all members in support of the recommendation, say aye.
Aye.
Any against? Okay. So, taking back up for consideration the measure SCR 182, the chair's recommendation is to pass unamended as is. We'll do a roll call vote on this matter. Chair Keelan and Vice Chair Grandinay vote aye. Rep. Cochran is excused. Rep. Evslin.
Aye.
Representative Kitagawa.
Aye.
Representative La Chica is excused. Sorry. Representative Miyake.
Aye.
Representative Moroka. Representative Pierik. No. Chair's recommendation is adopted. Okay. Give me back the chairman to Vice Chair.
Thank you. Okay. All right, moving on to SCR 200 SD1. The recommendation is to pass as is. Any discussion? Seeing none, chair for the vote.
Thank you, members. SCR 200 SD1, Chair's recommendation is to pass unamended as is. Any members wish to vote reservations or no on SCR 200? Seeing none, Chair, your recommendation is adopted.
Thank you. And moving on to our final measure, SCR 231 SD1. Recommendation is to pass as is. Any discussion? Seeing none.
Thank you, members. Chair's recommendation on SCR 231 SD1 is to move as is. Any members wishing to vote reservations or no? Seeing none, Chair, recommendation is adopted.
Thank you. We're adjourned.